This podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors. Your San Diego County Toyota dealers. We've got what it takes. Fix Auto. Corky's Pest Control. And Lolita's Family of Restaurants.
Welcome to Canyonside Baseball and Softball Academy, where hitters are made. Tommy Morris, Christian Pedersen, David Ring here.
You can turn me into a hitter?
I could turn anyone into a hitter.
All right.
So Dave apparently is a magician now. We do the normal podcast for you guys. We got our top 10. We got our fair or foul. We got some game picks. We got our game balls as well. I don't want to forget those. And then our
Players of the Week,
brand new thing, Players of the Week as well. So we got the game balls and Players of the Week on top of that. Without further ado, we got to get to our top 10. Dave, honors all yours.
All right. New top 10 for me this week. I'm going to put Cathedral
That would be it.
Catholic.
Couple of C's.
At number one
Big
this
difference,
week, after a big win over RB, took them to extra innings. Congrats on the win, guys. I'm going to bump Eastlake up to number 2. Some hot hitting, some really good baseball out there. RB is going to be number 3 for me. San Marcos 4, Madison 5, Helix 6, Granite Hills 7, Poway 8, Grossmont 9, and Vista rounding out at number 10.
Man, we're talking about extra inning games in the top 5 in the county so far. There's been multiple of them this season. It's been a great year so far.
Definitely.
Yeah, so our top 10s look very different, which I guess is good. But number one,
Number 1?
Yeah, not CCA number 1, unfortunately.
Ravens, get there, man.
I kept Rancho Bernardo at 1. I know they took a loss this week, but I kept them number 1. Number 2, Eastlake. 3, Cathedral, who jumped way up for me. I had them way lower in the top 10. They're up to number 3 now. 4, San Marcos. 5, Helix. 6, Scripps Ranch. 7, Torrey Pines. 8, Madison. 9, La Costa Canyon. And 10, Poway, after having a tough week last week.
I mean, this is awesome. We've seen so many teams come and go already in the top 5, top 10. It is an absolute dogfight in the county this year. I love it so far.
All right, so now we got to move on to our game balls and our players of the week. So, guys, game balls.
We got a lot.
We got a big segment. We got to recap last week, guys. I will let you take it away while I play with this prop bat.
He'll reenact some of these swings. Dave, you want to start with your Dingers Club?
Yeah, that'd be great. All right, first Dinger Club, Grant Nielsen. This is a humongous hitting group over at Christian High. Zach Hogeson has 3 home runs already. Justin Ledgerwood hit 2 home runs in back-to-back at-bats against Grossmont. Pretty tough lineup when you got guys hitting about 8 home runs to start the lineup. I've got Osvaldo Tovalin. He's at Otay Ranch. He's got 4 dingers on the year. Congrats to you. And I'll just name my player of the week now, who is a part of the biggest dinger club of them all.
Breaking news. The David Ring, top performer of the week.
In 6 games, Brian Reyes, Eastlake High, Lewis and Clark commit, has 4 home runs and 12 RBIs.
That's a whole season's worth for not just a bat like that, for a very average to mid to upper average level player. That's a whole season's worth of production.
He pretty much did that in the Hilltop tournament alone. It was pretty impressive.
The Hilltop tournament, that's becoming a pretty respectable tournament. There's some big names playing in that every single year.
Yeah, definitely.
Any other game balls?
That's it for me. Actually, you know what? No, excuse me. It for me on the home run balls, game balls. Raiden Perry, Coronado. This guy's a freshman. He's got 18 innings, 1 earned run. The only earned run this year was against Eastlake.
Yeah. And there's no way you can discredit that.
And he's got a bomb. And
he's got a bomb.
He's an awesome name. Is it Raiden?
Raiden Perry, Coronado.
Right there.
Nicely done, man. And I wanted to name the 4 pitchers that are leading Scripps Ranch to a 6-0 start. Ben Castiglia, Matt Meyer, Sean Beaver, and Daniel Tapia. Those guys are off to a hot start over there.
And that actually gives me a great transition into my game balls, because I also want to give Matt Rudick and Sean Beaver, I'll give it a co-game ball with you, because that Scripps Ranch team, they are on fire right now. You want to talk about a great start to a season.
Definitely.
No issues from the end of last year. No bad taste in their mouth. They are on fire. Let's give my game balls out. First one going to Noah Owen at Cathedral. Guys, Cathedral 1-0 over Poway. That's huge. For both those offenses to be held to 1 total run. Noah Owen was pitching for Cathedral. He gets a game ball. Ryan Blakeman at the not number 1, but very close to it, Canyon Crest Academy Ravens. He had a huge outing against Sarah on the mound, so credit to him. And then I'm going to go with my last game ball / top performer for the week is Parker Askegreen. from Del Norte. I might be saying that completely wrong, and if so, I apologize, and that's why we're sending you a little swag your way. Parker, though, big game against Otay Ranch. And you talked about Otay's a little bit of a hitting squad this year. Definitely. They can produce. He gave a great start on the mound for them, gave the Nighthawks a win. Those are my game balls, finished off with my player of the week. Now, Tommy, we're going to be doing something a little special now, aren't we, for the players of the week?
Yeah, we're going to be sending them out in award. I don't want to get too much into the details, but the awards are not made yet, so don't be waiting by your mailbox, guys.
They will be sent to the schools.
Correct.
There'll be a rate waiting for your athletic department, and from now on, all players of the week, if I'm saying that correctly. Or Dave, breaking news, David Ring player of the week. We'll have a whole graphic there. But yeah,
good luck making that graphic.
Yeah.
Good job, Christian. Thank you for volunteering for that. Anyway, moving on to fair or foul. This is our debate segment. First thing we got to talk about it is early in the season. There have been some big games, big wins. Fair or foul. Early season success, is not indicative of what will happen later in the season.
I'm going to say fair. I think what you need to do is use the beginning of the season to get everybody some looks, kind of get a feel for it. And, if you win some big games, great, good for you. Don't latch onto that, though. Mm-hmm. Don't be like, hey, we beat Eastlake week 2 of the season. We're good for the rest of the year. Play your best ball at the end of the season. For me, the case study in this was Valhalla last year. They were a bottom-seeded team going into the playoffs. They took down Saints. They made a little bit of a name for themselves because they played their best ball at the end of the year. So, it can be good for a program. It can be fun to talk about. But put the first month of the season out of your mind when you're really trying to chop up and take stock of where your team is sitting.
I'm going to say fair in the sense that, as a coach and a player, I would remember towards the end of the season, for instance, like a Cathedral who just beat RB and Poway. At the end of the season, when comes time to play those guys again, you still have that chip on the shoulder from the win early in the season. Yeah, you might not be playing the same type of baseball, but those wins early in the season, for me as a player and a coach, were huge because it would give me that extra chip to play them the second time around, which you'll see a lot of these teams play in the playoffs for sure.
I think that might be where the difference is between us, is you're viewing this kind of from an open division, a small group point of view, and I'm sort of the rest of the county looking at it. Hey, we've got that 1 or 2 big games, non-conference early on, but then we've got really the rest of our existence. So I guess you could see this one really both ways, but I'm glad we disagree.
All right, second fair or foul, second and final fair or foul. New pitch count rule here in California. 110 is the max. If you pitch over 75, you're done for 3 days. 50 to 75, 2 days. 30 to 50, 1 day. Guys, this is a good rule. Fair or foul? Start with David.
I'm going to say foul, and partially, I like the restrictions, but I'd rather have there be restrictions on, how a player trains. And I feel like if you get to the core of the problem, then you don't have to put restrictions on the pitches. But I do think it's a good idea in the sense that some guys have, borderline techniques, and some guys wear their arm out a little more than others. So it's definitely good for the guys that need it, but I think that part of, why there is these restrictions is the lack of training, the lack of knowledge on how to keep a pitcher healthy throughout the course of a 3-month season. So I'd say that's where I would emphasize if I had to run these pitch counts. I would make that part of my focus also, would be how to train pitchers better.
I'm also going to say foul. Trying to take this one approach to fix the issue of arm damage in young kids is like trying to use a Band-Aid to plug up a hole in a sinking ship. You've got so many different issues at play. Like you said, there's how are they practicing? How are they training? There's kids that are playing year-round baseball that are, yes, every league they play in has pitch counts, but they're going to keep pitching all year round. You've got so many issues here that to try and focus and say, saying that, from here to here is 1 day of rest, here to here is 2 days of rest, is really just not addressing the main course of the issue. For a couple of kids, yes, it might save them from Tommy John surgery. It might save them here or there. But across the board, you need, like you said, Dave, a much more fundamental reboot of teaching coaches properly, kind of the way that now football coaches have to be heads up certified, get baseball coaches, arms up certified, and make sure that at the end of the season, kids can actually lift their arms up and not be walking around hanging like that. So I'm going to say foul also. You need to go deeper to fix the issues of arms.
I actually like the arms up program. Very cool. All right, going to our game picks now. We got some games to pick from Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Ooh, let's go.
Here we go. First game, Canyon Crest. David's almost #1 team in the county. Going to Mission Hills. else. I'm gonna stick with the Ravens here, guys. What do you think?
Oh, give me the Ravens, baby. They're a team that's starting to put it together a little bit.
I took another team last time we had these picks, so I'm going to pick them this time, give them the edge. CCA wins.
There you go. Clean sweep for the Ravens.
Sweep for CCA. So Poway, team we were just talking about a little bit earlier after that 1-0 tough loss, they're going to go and travel to Escondido, who guys are undefeated. Sleeper team up there in North County. I'm going to stick with Poway, though, in this one. What do you think?
I'm also going to agree with you. Poway is kind of they're going to be the strength of schedule misnomer of they've played these really tough games and they've lost a couple of them, so it's going to you see some losses. 1-0 to Cathedral is not a concerning loss. They're going to take care of business against Escondido.
No, they're tough. I have a feeling you're going to put up some runs in this game. I'm going to take Poway.
All right, a team that's in your top 10, not in mine right now. Vista going to Carlsbad. I'm going to go with the home team, the Lancers. Christian, what do you think?
This one's tough. I want to see something out of Vista, though. So I'll take Vista here. I want to see them go get a huge early season road win and get back on track.
Yeah, that would justify my putting them in the top 10, and I'm really looking for them to play a strong game for sure. Vista over Carlsbad.
All right, game number 4 of 5. It is Classical Academy going to San Diego Academy. A couple academies going after it. Give me the Mustangs. I'll take San Diego.
I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to go with Classical. I think they are a really interesting, kind of well-balanced small ball team. You can't find home runs really being hit on their roster, but they got a decent amount of runs scored so far this season, so I like what they bring. I'll say, give me the Caimans, baby.
San Diego is my pick.
All right, final game. This should be an interesting one. It's West Hills going to Point Loma. West Hills.
This is going to be real interesting.
West Hills out in East County. A lot of good East County schools right now playing baseball. I'm going to stick with East County. I'm going to go with West Hills.
You going with the Wolfpack, Dave?
It depends who's on the mound for the West Hills, but I'm going to take Point Loma. David Wells got these guys looking good this year. I'm going to take Point Loma this year.
I'm going to take West Hills for what I will call an upset. I think you're right. Point Loma, they are a really solid team this year. They're going to be really successful in the long run. I think that West Hills needs a couple of big wins still to prove how good they are, but I think they have more than enough in the tank to get this one done.
All right, that is it. That is our podcast, guys. Last chance to say anything today before we go out of here?
Yeah, I want to see what kind of bat flips you're going to bring after we're done filming. You got that neon tape? What are you playing for Team Venezuela?
Hey, man, cheapest bat in the building, so how to buy it.
There you go.
All right, thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, the adult in the room is going to properly end this one. Folks, thank you very much.
All right, we will see you next week with another podcast.